There have been so many times in my life where I looked put together. I looked confident, I had on the designer clothing, hair was done, nails were done, lip gloss was popping, but inside I was a complete mess. I walked into the room that I was supposed to be in, but I did not arrive with confidence like I belonged. Underneath my hello, my name is tag, my heart was beating, my hands were shaky, and I felt like a complete imposter. And that is because I was out of the practice of confidence. Confidence is not a feeling that falls on you as soon as you arrive. It is a practice that you build on purpose in the specific areas of your life where you have been quietly performing as opposed to naturally having it. Oh honey, I hope you're ready for this episode because today I'm breaking down the 5 areas in which we lack confidence and exactly how to build real confidence in each and every area. Girl, you're definitely going to want to grab your pen, your Post-it, your ambition planner, and let's go. Hello Ambition Babes, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion, also known as the face of ambition, across all social media platforms as well as wherever you stream your podcast. This channel is for grown women who are on a reinvention journey, who are sick and tired of doing the same old thing and expecting something different. But do not worry honey, if you're grown but you're not as grown as I am, just consider me your bougie auntie who wants to put you on so that you do not have to lack confidence in these 5 areas like I have. And before we get started, I want to be extremely honest about something. I do not believe that confidence is a personality trait that some women have and that some women don't. But I do believe that you can practice confidence. I think that it is a series of small, repeated decisions that eventually feel natural. I also want to add before I get into these 5 areas that if there is anything that you lack, that our God is so faithful to provide. So if you are a person who has dealt with a lack of confidence for any amount of time, before we even start with this list, I want to encourage you to ask God for confidence. Nothing on this list is going to matter if you don't have a firm foundation. If you don't first address where you started losing your confidence, if you don't identify the situation that caused you to doubt yourself, or if you're not real with yourself about how you personally identify, then the rest of this list is going to go in one ear and out the other. Because without this foundation, nothing else matters. So if you're ready to get started, I'm gonna warn you, I'm coming in hot with area number 1 being financial confidence. So I chose financial confidence as the first area that we tackled because I love talking about money. It is honestly the root to a lot of the confidence issues that we have. And because surface level money tips are not the thing that stands between you and real financial confidence, I figured we can go ahead and get this one out of the way first. A lot of us, especially women of color, are first generation wealth builders. We did not inherit financial confidence. We inherited financial survival. Some of us know what it feels like to have our lights disconnected, to watch that grocery total as we're checking out and pray it doesn't go over the amount that's in our account, to say no to the concert, the brunch, the trip with your girls. Not that you don't want to go, but you hate going on a trip or an outing on a really restricted budget. Having to make tough financial decisions really hurt your financial confidence. But here's what I need for you to understand. That lived experience, if you're not careful, turns into a permanent script that you repeat in your head over and over again. Money doesn't stay in my hand, it burns a hole in my pocket. We didn't come from money, so I only have what I need and never what I want. Being rich is for other people, not for us. Money doesn't grow on trees. I might be broke, but I'm blessed. None of these theatrical soliloquies that we have repeated to ourselves over and over again have to be our truth. I have heard my entire life that some people are just under a financial generational curse. But even if you believe in curses or not, a curse can be broken by the same way that it was formed: repetition. Here is the repetitive action that I want you to put in place. Number 1 is I want you to write down the exact phrase that you grew up hearing about money or the one that you repeat to yourself. Then I want you to cross out those words and find new words that you are going to use to replace them. I want you to start speaking over your finances daily, even whenever it feels untrue at first. Not because I feel like you're putting some hocus pocus on your bank account, but you have got to watch your mouth. You have got to change the way that you speak about your financial situation. You may not be where you desire to be financially, but have you ever stopped to consider the fact that maybe your words are the thing that are keeping you there? Maybe you repeat that you are broke so often that you actually present yourself as broken. You have said no to gifting yourself nice things for so long, you didn't even take the moment to flip the tag over and realize that it was on sale. The very first thing that you have got to do to build financial confidence is to change the way you speak. Number 2 is that I need for you to start checking in on your bank accounts at least once a week. Not from a place of fear, but from a place of love and accountability. You survived on not knowing how much money was in your checking, your savings, and on your credit report. And you don't don't have to live like that anymore. Number 3 is I want you to start celebrating your small financial wins out loud. When you take that $20, that $100, that $150 and you put it in your savings account like you said you would, that deserves a celebration. You are no longer lying to yourself. You said you were going to do this thing for your financial growth and development, and you did it. You showed up. You clicked the move money from one account to the other button, and that matters. Scarcity has trained you to only notice what is missing, but the confidence muscle that you are building trains you to notice what is working. And area number 4, which is slightly controversial, is that this week I want you to buy something for yourself because you want it. Now, I don't want you to go out here and be reckless, but I do want you to be intentional. The concert, the brunch, that little piece of jewelry that caught your eye at TJ Maxx. I want you to spend money on yourself intentionally and allow it to be proof to yourself that money can be joyful and that you don't only purchase things out of necessity. You work so hard and you buy things for everyone else because they need it. A new pair of shoes for your toddler, a new uniform shirt for the 8th grader that's going back to school, new hand towels for your home because the last set that you had got bleach on it. But when was the last time that you bought something for yourself just because it brought you joy? This week, I don't care if it's $5 or $500, I want you to spend on yourself with intentionality. Area number 2 is your presence and how individuals experience you. Your presence has nothing to do with being the loudest person in the room. It's about the energy that you bring to a space. Because here's the truth. People remember how you made them feel far more than what you said. A woman with real presence is not performing confidence. She is regulated, her nervous system is at ease, she is present, and she is fully there. That is what individuals truly respond to. And before my introverts drop down in the chat and say, I'm not one to command a room, I want you to remember that building confidence in your presence has absolutely nothing to do with the volume of your voice, but everything to do with the energy that you bring to a space. Speaking to individuals and making eye contact, being gracious to the host that invited you, finding commonality with those that you are around, makes individuals feel seen, makes you feel confident, and leaves a lasting impression that goes far beyond what you actually said. So I want you to practice these 3 things. Number 1, I want you to slow down when you speak. This is something that I have to practice every single day, and some days I'm successful and some days I fail. But rushing your speech reads as being nervous. Slower, intentional speech reads as grounded and knowledgeable, even if you do not feel 100% confident in a space. Slowing down and enunciating your words reads as innate confidence. Number 2 is to stop with the pre-apology. Each and every one of us has been on a Zoom meeting and have raised our virtual hand and said, I know this may be a dumb question, before you've even asked the question. Like I said, you have got to watch your mouth, honey. Identifying any thought or question that you have as dumb is not reading confident and doesn't earn you any additional points with those that you are asking the question to. If you have a question, just ask. And number 3, I mentioned earlier, but I need for you to start making eye contact. I know that because you may lack confidence, you want to fiddle with your phone. Pull on your clothes, play with your hands. But when you are speaking to someone, I need for you to hold eye contact for at least 2 additional seconds even after you've spoken. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna feel awkward at first to you, but it reads as confidence to everyone else. Area number 3 is decision-making confidence. And this one is deeply connected to something that we've discussed on this channel before, which is decision fatigue. But I wanna go a level deeper here, because a lot of our indecision is not tied to being tired. It is about seeking external validation before we trust our read on a certain situation. You already know what needs to be said and what you need to do. You're just waiting for someone else to confirm that it's okay. So the very first practice that I need for you to do starting today is to set a deadline on small decisions. What are you gonna eat? What are you gonna wear? What email are you going to respond to first? These decisions need to take about 60 seconds. You do not have to call every member of your family, including your sister, your best friend, your mama, or your cousin, to decide what you should make for dinner tonight. Decide what you're going to cook. Decide what you're going to wear. Set a deadline as to when you're going to make that decision and move on. This is a very small but daily action that you need to start taking to build confidence in your decisions. Number 2, before you text the group chat for their opinion, I need for you to identify what you really want. There are plenty of decisions that it is wise to bring other individuals in, especially whenever it comes to work or big family decisions. I'm not advocating that every decision needs to be unilateral, but I want it to be well with your soul first. Because you are practicing confidence, I want you to identify what you really want. sis, what you desire matters. Your opinions matter. Your ideas matter. You have gotten completely out of the practice of making decisions for yourself. That is why I need for you to pause before you ask anyone else and decide what it is that you want for yourself. Number 3 may seem really small. I want you to go in that dressing room, try on that new dress, and don't phone a friend. After you've identified just how good you look in it, I want you to take it off, put it back on the hanger, take it to the counter, and purchase it without letting anyone know what you decided on. And I want you to identify what it feels like in your body. Did you feel really nervous, like you may have made a purchase mistake? And if so, that is okay, because we are currently practicing decision confidence, but I want you to start shifting your body language when it comes to your decisions. Area number 4 really boils down to how you communicate with those that are closest to you. Your best girlfriend, your husband or partner, your mama, your sister in your inner circle. Many people confuse relational confidence with being harsh, telling it like it is, or being blunt. And even though there may be a time and a situation for that, it is mostly about saying the true thing as opposed to the thing that everyone would be most comfortable with you saying. Most of us have a relationship or two where we have been performing okayness. Some of us have gotten so good at this that we have been putting on this little charade for years. Smoothing things over, being the first to send the apologetic text, avoiding the conversation that really needs to happen because keeping the peace feels safer than actually telling the truth. So the very first thing that I need for you to do this week is to identify the individual that you need to have a hard conversation with. In order to feel confident in anything, you have got to stop avoiding it. This conversation does not have to be dramatic, but it does have to be honest. Number 2 is I want you to identify when you start over-explaining yourself or apologizing. If you need to say no, just say no. If you thought you were going to be able to make it and you're no longer able to attend, simply say sorry and leave it at that. We have gotten into the practice of over-explaining and over-apologizing for absolutely everything. But all this does is slowly dim our light and chisels away at our self-confidence. If you have wronged someone, you owe them an apology. You may be so wrong that you may even owe them a big apology. But for no reason should you be on your knees begging for mercy. I need for you to remember that you are building confidence. And you don't need to write a full dissertation explaining where things went wrong and apologizing profusely. If you are sincerely apologizing, saying sorry one time is going to be sufficient enough. And number 3 is that I need for you to set one boundary out loud this week. Even if your voice shakes while you're saying it, there is a boundary that you need to set with your family, and I need for you to tell them exactly what it is, and I need for you to stand on business when you say it. Yes, you may step on some toes. Yes, you may be nervous to say it, but if it is a boundary that needs to be established, it is worth you doing it scared. Confident relationships are not relationships without conflict. They are relationships where you trust yourself enough to be honest inside of them. And so I saved the very best area for last, and that is going to be our body confidence. Specifically how you eat and how you care for your body. I want to be very careful and very clear here because body confidence should not be tied to a certain size, a certain number on the scale, or a certain way that you feel as if your body should look in photos. It is about treating your body the way that it deserves, or are you treating it like a problem that you have to manage? This distinction changes absolutely everything. Body confidence is an area that I think I'm going to make a full video on, but until then, I want to leave you with these very simple 3 steps. Number 1 is I want you to eat in a way that respects your body, not punishes it. Notice the difference between nourishing yourself and restricting yourself with guilt and negative self-talk. Number 2 is I want you to move your body this week because it makes you feel good, not because you're trying to earn food or even rest. Movement is a reward for being alive. It is not a penalty for what you ate. Every single time we've eaten too many fries or gone back for seconds, we mentally say to ourselves that we're going to need to add an additional 25 minutes on the treadmill the next day. You made the decision to eat what you ate, and moving your body longer, pushing your body further, and doing more squats and hip thrusts is not punishment for the decision that you made a long time ago. Moving our bodies is a privilege, and I want you to start separating it as punishment for your past transgressions. And number 3 is tonight, I need for you to stand in the mirror and speak kindly about your body out loud. This is not a conversation for everyone to hear, but it is a private conversation that you have got to have with yourself because the only way that you change something that you do not like is that you have got to be honest with yourself first. Body confidence is daily maintenance, but it is not a decision that you arrive at once and keep forever. It is something that you practice and may change in every season of your life. Like while you're in perimenopause, midlife, during a reinvention journey, or even whenever you're sprinting towards a goal. The relationship with your body is going to change. What I need for you to do is accept where your body is now. Decide that you are going to love yourself and show up with the confidence that your body deserves. Sis, we have broken down the 5 most important areas where you need to build confidence. And even though some of the practices that I offered you can happen immediately, some of them are just going to take more time, and that's okay. This is not about perfection, but it is about repeating a behavior until it feels natural instead of something that you're performing. If you want a clear picture of exactly where your confidence gaps are exposed right now, in the description, I have provided a link to my absolutely free Glow Up Gap assessment. It takes only about 10 minutes to complete, but it is going to break down exactly where you should focus first instead of trying to work on all 5 of these areas at once. In the comment section below, I want you to drop the area of confidence where you feel you're weakest right now. The comment section is a very sacred space where I respond to each and every one of your comments. It is also a space where we're able to support each other on our glow up journey. Sis, I love you, and I pray that you are well and that you're doing something every single day to reach your most ambitious goals.